It's WOW Embossing Powder Week on the Paper Crafters Library blog, and every day during the week of May 21st to 25th, 2012, we'll be sharing different project ideas featuring WOW's amazing embossing powders and embossing glitters. At the end of the week, 2 lucky winners will receive a WOW Embossing Powder prize pack, and we'll share more details at the end of this video. In today's video, we're going to show you how to create this really neat little nighttime tin, which features the WOW Embossing Powder in glow-in-the-dark. It's a regular grain embossing powder which gives a nice soft subtle glow, and it's fantastic for adding a really neat little bit of pizzazz to a rather simple project. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is putting the name that I want over here, and because I'm going to be using die cuts, I don't want to be actually sticking it over embossing. I want to have it down first so that I can kind of avoid hitting it after. So I have it cut out of just one of my small, it's called Lemonade Alphabet. It's by Quick Cut. It's a retired alphabet. But again, there's so many alphabet options out there, it's not really a big deal. And I'm going to start by placing my first letter. Now there's no seam, well there's a seam here, and I kind of wanted to go away from there. So we're going to start with it right over here. I'm going to kind of keep it from rolling. Okay, and then I'm going to attach it with my glossy accents. Any of these crystal glues will work quite well on metal, and it's what I used to use for my sticking my paper for altering tins to metal, but I've since then changed to the Ranger, but I do like this stuff because I know it's very secure on the metal. Okay, and then you're just going to stick all your letters going afterwards. So again, same thing, just put little dots of glue because it is going to kind of squish a bit out the side, so you don't want too much. And then you're going to have to kind of hold each letter down as it goes, as you're getting along the curve to make sure it sticks down. Okay, so do this with each of your letters, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so the glue's dry, and I'm ready to start with the embossing. Now, quick thing to remember when embossing on metal: A, the metal's going to get very hot, and B, it's going to be slippery, so it's very easy to kind of wiggle your stamp by accident, just kind of slip, and then you're going to end up with a bit of a smear. Also, the more you handle it, the more kind of oils you're getting on there that are going to stick really easily to the metal. So the emboss powder might stick because of your oils that are left behind. So it's kind of handy to have one of the embossing buddies or like a bounce sheet to just kind of rub over the surface before you start embossing. The other thing, this piece has some acetate on it. Remember, when stamping on acetate or embossing on acetate, you got to watch out that you don't have the heat just blasting on there without moving it. You want to try to diffuse that heat a bit and be very quick. Once it melts, remove the heat so you don't melt this whole plastic top. Okay, so that's for the acetate stamping. So I'm going ahead and using this stamp called Night Night Moon. It's by Paper Train Ink, and I wanted some of the stars and moon images. And I'm going to start by just kind of tapping down here so I don't have any of that stickiness happening. And I'm just going to get rid of some of the excess here, residue. Okay. Now I'm going to be taking the larger star over here, and with my Versamark pad I'm going to start stamping and embossing. So I don't really want my embossing powder too close to my, or my stamp pad too close to the embossing powder because I don't want to get any on there. But you're going to ink up your stamp with your Versamark pad. Place this down firmly so that you have kind of a surface to work on. Remember, you don't want it to roll. Okay, and I'm going to put just a couple of stars down. You're going to have to, because it's a round surface, you're going to have to kind of roll that a little. So it just takes a lot of finger control to make sure you can achieve that roll and not smear at the same time. Okay, when you've stamped a few stars down, remove your Versamark pad so that you're not going to accidentally get stuff on it. Make sure your thing isn't about to roll over onto the surface you just stamped. And then we're just going to sprinkle some of that embossing powder on. Okay. I just use a little brush sometimes to clean off areas. And then you're just going to melt the surface. Remember, this will get hot, so move any embossing powder out of the way so you don't melt it. And just hold on to a back section over here while you're melting. Okay, and then you're going to let it cool in between the applications because it is quite hot. You're going to be going section by section. Careful not to touch it because the metal's warm. It's keeping the embossing powder warm for a little bit longer. You're going to want to give it a chance to cool down before you actually touch it. Okay, so I'm going to show one more series of stamping on the metal here, and then I'm going to do the rest on my own since it's exactly the same thing. But remember, so you have to hold it because it's a round surface. Hold everything steady. I'm holding really strong over here and I'm holding very steady. I have my hand resting on the table. And then I'm just going to carefully put down the points, making sure I get all areas. Roll it down, lift up. And one more. Okay, and then we're just going to cover it with the embossing powder again, and then melt it. Okay, again, remove any excess that's stuck there. With metal, it tends to stick a little more, so. And then melt. And of course, remove your embossing powder out of the way. Hold far away from the heat, where the heat's going on, and melt. If necessary, you can use a little brush to kind of hold this steady because it does get fairly hot, and then let the whole thing set. And you're going to do the rest of the can like this. Okay, so we have over here all the stars done. It's a little hard to see, I know. The glow you're going to get is not going to be like a light up the room type glow. It's going to be a very soft, subtle glow. Very nice, very pretty. You know, it's good for like a little tooth box and stuff, or just to kind of put some sort of little nighttime treasure that you, like candy, you know, the little pill to help you go to sleep type thing. So it's just meant to be a little something to hold like some little treasures and stuff. And it just can easily be found in the dark with just that soft glow on the canister. Okay, for the lid, I want to have some little moon on there. I'm just going to rub this there so I don't have, I really don't want to have embossing powder sticking everywhere. And I'm going to ink up my moon stamp from the same stamp set. And I'm going to have to kind of be careful here. I need to be able to press my fingers underneath so I can get the moon. Because it's the acetate, it's going to give a little bit, and so I need to have a pressing from the opposite side. Okay. Cover up your embossing powder. And then we're going to sprinkle, or cover up your pad and then sprinkle with your embossing powder here. Give it a little flick from the other side. And then brush away any excess powder. Okay, and then you're going to melt this again, but remember with the acetate you got to be a little more careful. You don't want the heat source on there for too long. Okay, melted very quick, and right away remove the heat, and I kept it moving around. Okay, so you're just going to let this set. So there you have it, the WOW glow-in-the-dark embossing powder. It's a really fun kind of specialty embossing powder which allows you to do some really neat things. And it's a simple way to dress something up and really fun for kids so that you can kind of just take a really plain can, put their name on it, and put a kind of hidden little pictures within or over the can. As we mentioned at the beginning of this video, at the end of this week, 2 lucky winners will receive a WOW embossing powder prize pack. One winner will be chosen from all the comments left on the Paper Crafter Libraries blog throughout the WOW Embossing Powder week, and one winner will be chosen from all the comments left on the WOW Embossing Powder blog throughout the week. Winners will be announced on Friday, May 25th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. To enter to win, visit the Paper Crafters Library blog and leave a comment in the post you see here. If you're watching this video from somewhere other than our blog, you'll find a direct link to this post in the video description section. While you're there, we invite you to check out the benefits of becoming a Paper Crafter Libraries member by clicking on the Benefits of Membership link at the top of our blog. The winner will be announced Friday, May 25th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to visit our blog every day this week for more great projects using WOW embossing powder and for more opportunities to win, as each day you leave a comment counts as one entry. See you on the blog!